Hello there everyone, welcome back to another Gate Ruler video. Today we are going to be talking about the Grand Prix, the mini Grand Prix tops over the weekend. As a reminder, if you are not sure the level of these tournaments, they are 3,000 yen entry mini tournaments, kind of local size, but obviously with a hefty entry fee, so you expect the level of competition to be pretty decent. And set 2 has now been out in Japan for just over a week, which means that we are gradually starting to see the meta change. Well, not gradually, significantly starting to see the meta change, but gradually starting to see some trends emerge. So we've got quite a few decks to go over, so let's get started without wasting any more time. Here is our first one. So this is a very interesting one. This is blue-pink wizard. So we have our first wizard top, wizard first place finish, and indeed not our last for this video, and I imagine not our last for quite a while. And this is a red-pink, this is a blue-pink firepower deck. So very, very different to the standard where you've seen pink performing in the past. The backpacker errata is now in full effect. So, unsurprisingly, Backpacker has fallen off fairly hard, and we're seeing things like this. Let's just go through and talk through. So we'll start at the bottom. 4 Guns and Gold Armory, that's pretty obvious. That is going to be buffing all the burn to make it just obscene. 4 Zap Zap Zaps, especially with the Guns and Gold, this card is totally broken. 4 of the Magical Blaster, I think it is. This is burn 3, but as the counter to play it, it's burn 3 and it's an immediate timing. But I think more importantly, it's firepower, so you can get it back, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And of course, it gets buffed by Guns and Gold Armory, so it can be a burn 4, 5, 6, or even 7. Though realistically, 5 is fairly likely, which is of course very good. Then we got 4 copies of the Space Cave. This is obviously an absolutely ridiculous card to get access to. Resting any unit or ruler as a counter, it's nuts, and it's also just a flying shield for you directly, which is not exactly bad as a secondary effect. So yeah, pretty good. Moving up. 4 copies of Etherfield, of course, reduced to 0, really good. Definitely needed in Wizard due to your pathetic stats. 4 copies of the Biedermann reference, Akudaman. Another very, very powerful removal tool. This one spreads, I believe. And then, of course, 4 copies of the free burn 2 to something, which is totally crazy. Again, so you see like lots of burn tools that are just going to ramp up. 4 copies of Normandy, so you can get your military things from your damage, heal them into your hand. Very useful. 4 Crystal, very nice in this deck because you have a lot of events, as you can see. 4 Velma. I haven't been super hot on this card in my testing, but maybe in Japan the meta has evolved faster and people are playing a lot more overdrive and touchdown cards, but it kind of felt like the opposite. It felt like you were sort of incentivized to run less of them, but I don't know. Then we've got 4 copies of our Rhino, and this is just purpose-built for this deck, salvaging pretty much any of your events outside of Normandy, Zap, and Guns and Gold. It will salvage... Salvaging all your firepower events, which is like the 4 there. And of course 4 Elephant for your defensive tools, which is obviously really good. Elephant's going to be very hard to get over when you have this level of interaction. And then the legends are going to be Liberty, obviously very, very strong in this deck, and Flying Spaghetti Monster, just the arguable best legend in the game. So yeah, very, very solid list. I look forward to trying this one out for myself. It just looks very good, and I'm not at all surprised to see it perform well. Wizard makes total sense with this, of course, because it, lots of one-cost interaction. The only thing I'm kind of surprised it's missing is Alice, but looking through the counters, I'm not really sure where you would make those cuts, because they all seem pretty key to the deck functioning. And I would rather have Space Cave than Alice, I guess. So next we've got another Wizard top, and this one's an Aramisaki one. And it's very, very interesting. So 4 Aramisaki, 3 Tenrai, 1 of Honoi Kazuchi, I think. So that little package of threes there are very, very annoying cards to deal with. You know, we've got Aramisaki, who will let you convert any of your events into something deeply annoying in terms of in the form of burn. You've got your Tenrai, who is a 6/6/2 with two really strong keywords, so you know that's very difficult to deal with. And you've got your Honoi Kazuchi. I believe that's the one. Just for more burn. I believe it's also the deck's only way of dealing with Flying Spaghetti Monster, which is a card you need to main deck for, because goddamn, you're going to see that shit very often. For Owl, one of the best counters in the game still. For Victor, very strong removal, of course. See 4 of the Shinjuku train pasts that draw 2 makes total sense in this deck, because even if it's because as a counter you are happy to see it, as this is Wizard, but you are very much looking to tap out pretty much every turn, so this will be good in making sure you can keep doing that. And of course, if you get it as a draw 2 early in the game, that's very nice as well. And if you get it later in the game, you can just set it and remove it with Aramisaki, which is great. 4 copies of the first Interdimensional Battle, an amazing card in Wizard. You're always going to have that energy available, and you know that card's it's nuts. Giving Intercept to something is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, very, very powerful card. 2 copies of Alice. I've read an article this individual wrote about their win, and how they only played 2 because because it's sort of people are expecting it at this point, and they wanted to main deck another answer, which we see on the other end there, which is the +2 health to everything, which I get. I'm not sure if I agree with, but I'll try this out certainly, and we'll see what I think later. But absolutely valid. The +2 HP to everything will definitely be really annoying in this deck, with how big the stuff is. So yeah, of course, 4 copies of the +1 HP to all other military, which is a really, really annoying card to deal with. And that, in combination with the +2 HP, means you're basically never going to be, like, a mag isn't going to affect you, Zap 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 is not going to affect you, which is obviously very, very nice. 4 copies of the 0 cost Give Intercept, which is I forgot the name, a clash or something, a momentary battle, whatever. Anyway, yeah, good card. Good, obviously synergistic with this deck with your high attack values. 4 copies of the counter to reduce any damage to 0. Very, very nice in this deck, and similar kind of thing to 4 copies of I Didn't Even Feel That. You're going to keep your units around, and your opponent's just going to hate you. Even if you see too many of these, again, you can just ditch them with Aramisaki, which is really, really nice. And 4 copies of your Untapper, just your energy booster, just to keep the deck flowing nicely in those turns where you don't counter check a Shinjuku Underpass or an Alice, because you know you've got 6 counters to untap, which is pretty good. And the legends are going to be Liberty and Win-Win. Fairly standard choices there. Personally, I would have been very tempted to play Heaven's Vengeance comes quickly, which I think is a very, very powerful tool, but perhaps this deck doesn't need it. Liberty's just very, very strong, and Win-Win probably has won this deck several games. So yeah, another wizard list here. That's the final one for this one, and it's red-blue. And I think red-blue is where we will probably see energy-based rulers kind of gravitating towards in the tops at the start of every set, because historically this set and the last set has been the obvious strongest, even if it's not necessarily the best. You know, this is this is the way you would go with Wizard. You would want red, and blue works very well with it, so it makes total sense. Next up, we have got a Knight Crime Naught list, which is very interesting. So let's go through here. We got 4 Jenny Baby. So Jenny Baby is, of course, not overdrive nor touchdown, so it's always going to work. And basically all the Crime Naught stuff played here just works. You know, you've decided screw Malevolus and all that stuff. You're just looking to go down the Jenny Baby route, which makes sense because you can just manufacture a board from absolutely nothing. Bear is insane. When you revive from the grave, you'll just pop something, pop a set, which is really good. Unicorn will pop zeros, also very valuable. 4/4/2 Shark, good vanilla. Cimmerian is going to be a tool you're probably going to more against drive-based rulers, but it's also really good. And then there's the level 0 version of Cimmerian, which is also very strong. 2 Badmans. That's the only one I'm a little, but I suppose there is. You know, we are starting to see these big board wipe removals sort of start to fall off a bit, so it's less likely that you're going to be getting in from that benefit, though. I don't know, maybe it's just worth it for the stats. To be fair, there's a lot of competition for these spots. You see 4 copies of Miss Space Oiwa, who is amazing. Really, really, really strong in this deck in particular when you look through the counter lineup. Speaking of the counters, I like that he put Zap, Zap, Zap with the Legends, because that is the power level. We got 1 Zap, 1 FSM, 1 Mag. You can see that Volnar was very much run just as a little additional thing. Mag is very, very powerful. Yep, still an amazing legend card. 4 copies of Space Cave. Yeah, I've spoken about why this card is so strong. 4 Ether Field again, just so you don't die. 3 Blaster Cannon. We're seeing the return of one of the most prevalent counters in this one format here. Very, very useful tool. 3 copies of the revive thing for Bear. I cannot remember the name. So yeah, this will basically, what you do is you target a Jenny Baby, you revive the Jenny Baby, the Jenny Baby targets another card in your discard, and suddenly you just got a board for free. So very, very, very good card in Knight, in Apprentice, in any deck. Just a very powerful card to just manufacture a board like that. So yeah, big fan. And at the bottom there, we've got 4 copies of our Draw 2, which is, just it's gotten better with time, much easier. Like decks are finding it much easier to actually include that and it kind of flow nicely. And 2 copies of Flying Shield, just as a little defensive tool. I imagine to kind of round out the deck. This it's very interesting. I wouldn't have immediately gone for Knight Crime Naught. Certainly, I can tell you that Apprentice Crime Naught is very strong. So I want to give this a go, because it certainly must be doing something right if it's won a mini GP. And even if the player was confident enough to just drop 3,000 yen and take this for a mini GP. So interesting deck. And the final deck is we can't have what top this week without Red Pink Apprentice. It's the Law. This deck is just so, it has such strong fundamentals, so much deck building versatility. We're not going to see it go away anytime soon. So let's breeze through it. We got our FSM, just a very powerful tool. We got a set popper, interestingly. Set popping is valuable. I personally still probably would have gone for Koga, but I imagine the level limits are something to do with that decision. 2 Gash, 2 Darumagedon. Good to see Darumagedon. Very powerful card. I think kind of underrated by a lot of players and a lot of discussion I've been seeing. It's very, very powerful. 1 Mikigane. I would have, again, personally run the event version of this rather than the unit, but I suppose the body is worth something. 4 Crystal, obviously. 4 Magical Innovator to put counters back. 4 copies of the broken 050 top check, and there's 2 copies of the worst top check as well, so lots of ways to get your events. 3 copies of the 431, which is very useful. Those stats are very, very valuable. 4 copies of the You Can't Attack It Bro card, which is actually really, really nice. Forcing someone to go face against Apprentice is actually usually not ideal for them. Sometimes you just want a clear board, and this is just going to say, nah, go face, let me hit my counters. And boy, are they some strong counters. We got 3 Zaps, 4 Blaster Cannons, 3 the Space Torpedoes, Photon Torpedoes. Bloody very strong, yeah, and of course you got the Arthur as well. And at the bottom there we've got the +2 health to everything. I don't know how I feel about that one in this. I feel like I'd rather have like the reduce any damage to 0. But yeah, 2 Hauntings to make some space for levels, makes sense. 4 copies of the reduce anything to 0 level 1, and 4 copies of Ether Field. So yeah, overall, you can see a very far cry from Backpacker here. Totally different. It uses the same colors, but very different decks in play and in build as well. But as you can see, still so fundamentally strong that it almost doesn't matter. This is a deck you're always going to have to keep in mind, basically. As you can see, it's hardly unbeatable. This is the first one we've talked about this week, in fact. But I will say, when the game comes out in English in a few weeks, you can expect red-pink to be running around everywhere. You're going to have to learn to play around that matchup or play it yourself, just because it's very obviously strong. One interesting thing, actually, one very interesting thing about this list is no 1,000-year cherry tree. Very interesting. Don't agree with it. No idea why. Unless this was a deck on a significant budget, no idea why you wouldn't be playing for 1,000-year cherry tree. So yeah, but yeah, there you go. That's what's top this week. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, like the video. Subscribe to the channel for more Gate Ruler content. If you're interested in picking up Gate Ruler, you can use my link, my affiliate link in the description. Help support the channel, that'd be much appreciated. Leave your comments in the comment section down below, your thoughts. Let me know which deck you think is best, and what are you looking forward to picking up in set 1. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's video, and at the same time next week for what topped then. Cheers.